This image, taken by a satellite company on February 14th, appears to show 2 missile batteries with a total of 8 launchers and radar equipment on a beach on Woody Island, one of the islets in the Paracel chain in the disputed South China Sea. Taiwan's defense ministry and the Pentagon later confirmed that China, which has controlled the island since 1956, deployed anti-aircraft missiles there recently. The news came as U.S. President Barack Obama and Southeast Asian leaders met at a summit in California. One of the issues discussed was a territorial dispute in the South China Sea between China, Taiwan, and Southeast Asian countries, including the Philippines and Vietnam. According to Taiwan's defense ministry, the anti-aircraft missiles have a range of up to 200 kilometers and can hit both military and civilian aircraft flying in the area. During the summit, U.S. President Obama called for tangible steps to be taken to reduce tensions, including stopping land reclamation, construction, and militarization. A top U.S. official said China's missile deployment was not constructive and will increase tensions in the dispute. So why is China taking such a bold step, even as it needs to have a good relationship with the U.S.? Analysts believe Beijing is 1. Reacting to recent U.S. air and naval maneuvers in the area, and 2. Trying to send a message to Washington and the other claimants that it is determined to defend its claims to an area that it sees as historically belonging to China. It's one of a series of steps China has taken in recent years to assert its claims in the South China Sea, including stepping up the construction of man-made islands. The sea is believed to hold huge oil and gas reserves under its seabed and is rich in marine biodiversity, not to mention being important fishing grounds for people in nearby countries. 1/3 of the world's shipping also sails through it, with more than $5 trillion in trade traversing its waters each year. But for China, it's not just about the resources the sea holds. The area is also extremely important to Beijing in a geopolitical sense. Beijing sees controlling the sea as an important way to secure its eastern border and ensure that it is not forced to give up territory it sees as its own. It also doesn't want any major power such as the United States telling it what to do and what it sees as its backyard. But Obama's policy of refocusing U.S. attention on East Asia means Washington is prepared to play a greater role in the region.
I believe this summit has put the U.S.-ASEAN partnership on a new trajectory that will carry us to even greater heights in the decades ahead. America's foreign policy rebalance to the Asia-Pacific, including Southeast Asia, will continue to be a foreign policy priority of my presidency. I look forward to visiting Vietnam for the first time in May and to becoming the first U.S. president to visit Laos when it hosts the East Asia Summit in September.
As for Taiwan, which controls one of the biggest islands in the sea, it has urged all sides to refrain from taking unilateral action that could increase tensions. President Ma Ying-jeou has proposed that all parties put aside territorial claims and instead jointly explore and share the sea's resources. But Taiwan is worried its voice is not being heard. It is not considered a nation by the other claimants and has not been included in the arbitration process in a case the Philippines has brought against China in international court. Ironically, of all the claimants, Taiwan understands Beijing perhaps better than any of the others. Including Taipei in the process may be a smart move in finding a peaceful solution to this increasingly heated dispute. CNA, Taipei.